morning, everyone. It's not been my day. Things aren't going so well. Nothing major, just annoyances. I came here to try to work on the van. I brought my generator and everything. Oh, the sun's back there. Brought my generator and everything, and I can't find the cord that plugs the generator into the van. Yeah, obviously the cord that plugs into the regular 30 amp service is locked up in one of these compartments, and I can't get to it right now. So what I normally would do is I have my portable generator, and I just have a electrical cord with two male ends that I would plug into one of the outlets in the van, and that would feed power back into the van. But I can't find the cord. I've looked everywhere, and I cannot find that thing. And I made it, or should I say my dad made it custom, and it's gone. I don't know where it is, so I gotta find it or make a new one before I can test the air conditioner and so forth, because that's what I wanted to do. So I just figured I'd clean the thing, and I just got here, opened up the back of the doors. I could smell something funky in the trailer, and I saw this. These puddles weren't here earlier, and then I looked in here, and this is all wet, and I'm going, what the heck? And there's liquid here, and I realized it was my brand new bottle of cleaner. This is brand new, bought it yesterday, and I set it here, or something like that, and it tipped over while I was driving, and the cap was not screwed on, and the whole thing, almost the entire thing, dumped all over the back of my trailer. So now I'm here with no power, no water, and now no cleaner. Oh boy, this thing is fighting me on every step of the way. So I guess I'm just gonna clean what I can with the cleaner that I have, see what I can tinker with the tools I have without electricity. We'll see what I can come up with. Alright, so I think I might have found the battery compartment. As you can see, there's screws here, and then this looks to be removable. I'm gonna tinker with this a bit and see what I can figure out. This would be the battery compartment. Obviously, no battery. What's interesting though is that the lights and everything inside are suddenly working because I put a battery under the hood. There was no battery under the hood either, so I put one in there, and now everything inside is working. So for some reason it's back feeding through the system, which I don't like. I don't want my engine battery draining from lights and stuff, so I'm gonna have to figure that one out too. Alright, so I got the battery thing back on. I'm quickly discovering that it's too hot in this van to work right now. So I'm gonna do a few things and then I'm gonna call it a day, because it's just too hot to be cleaning and stuff in here right now. The thing is in the sun. The sun's setting, but it's still blasting in here. So I work third shift, so tonight's my night off. I might end up coming back here sometime after midnight if I can figure out a way to plug everything in. I might come back after midnight because I'm in a commercial area. There's not like there's anybody going to be here sleeping. I could start the generator and run everything. I just don't know how well I'm going to be able to film it in the dark, but I'll do my best. It's worth a try. But I think what I'm going to do right now is try to figure out the couch, figure out how to fold it down into a bed and everything. I just want to know this stuff in case I ever want to do that for some reason, although I don't really see why I would, but obviously it never hurts to know. So I'm going to try to set this camera up. I'm using my GoPro, but I don't have any kind of mounts for it or anything, so I'll do my best here, so bear with me on this. Alright, it's kind of just sitting on the chair there, so let's see what I can figure out. bar there. And, here's a strap right here. Or is that a seat belt? Oh, here we go. So it just pulls up and out. And there you go. There's a bed. Not bad. I don't know what that is. Oh. Alright. So, okay. Alright, so that's the bed. Man, it is so hot in here. This thing's been baking in the sun all day. I'm gonna go ahead and set the bed up, or set the couch back up and get out of here. Maybe I'll go to Home Depot down the street and see about getting what I need to make a new cord to plug the generator in. Because if I can get the generator in here and get the air conditioner going, assuming it works, it'll be much easier to work in here if I can keep it cool. So, see you in a bit. All right, a few hours have gone by. I went home and had some dinner, regrouped a little bit, waited for the sun to go down. It's much, much cooler out here now. So I'm much happier and much more in the mood to work. I also made a new cord. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my little portable generator and I'm just gonna plug it right into these. And it'll just backfeed power into the system. It's not ideal. Obviously, you want to have a 30 amp cord to plug into the main power inlet, but this is just good enough for testing, see what lights work, what don't. Run the air conditioner for a few minutes. Oh, that light is terrible. Run the air conditioner for a few minutes, make sure it does work, and then turn it back off, because you run it too long and the cord isn't really made for that much power, so it's really not a greatest strategy, but for now it'll work. But first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to install the new battery I purchased. I purchased a Deep Cycle Marine battery at Advance Auto at, I believe, is 160 amp hours, if I'm remembering correctly. The battery box, as you saw, is not very big in the van, and eventually I want to upgrade the battery box, move it to another location. Space is limited in these vans. It's just a fact of life, so that's down the road. For now, I just want to make the thing usable so that I can go camping and so forth. And then maybe next year I'll upgrade the battery box so I'll have more battery. But for now, this will be fine. So I'm going to film putting in the new battery, and hopefully it fits. I measured everything, so hopefully I measured properly. But we'll see. All right. Now, if you look in here, this is somewhat deceptive. Poorly wired, if you ask me. You have two red wires and one black wire. Now, when you think about it, you'd say, oh, okay, these two go to power and this one goes to negative. But if you look at this one, this is way too thin to be the negative. So if you look closely, and I'll try to get a shot of this, my camera's not the greatest, but all right. That is some kind of switch that I haven't quite figured out yet. Not sure what it's for, but this here is the incoming power line. And then here you can see this shorter red wire is actually the ground, because it goes over here and it just bolts right there. It just grounds right to the body of the vehicle just like that. This wire really should be black, because this would screw people up for sure. It almost screwed me up. Fortunately, I looked at the wiring before I put the battery in. But so that's how I'm gonna hook it up. This will go to negative, and these two will go together on the positive terminal. So now I just gotta hope my battery fits in here. I measured it ahead of time, but it's a pretty small space, and I got the biggest battery I could, so hopefully I measured properly. So let me try to set this up so you can see again. All right, let's see. Try to get the best shot I can. It's not a great setup here, but I'll do my best. All right, I think that's about as good as it's gonna get right there. So, all right, I try to get these wires up out of the way. Tuck them in here. Stay. All right, now I can put the battery in. All right, here's the big ass battery. I got the power over, I'm gonna put the power terminal over here, and the negative terminal over here, because the negative wire is much shorter. So I believe that's how it's intended to be. So just gonna drop her down in here. Oh, tight fit. Oh. Okay, she fits. All right. There's actually a little room to spare. Just this here is the biggest problem. You got a lot of space here and a decent amount of space vertically, but this is really restrictive right here, so it's really not a great setup. But when you're working in a space as small as these vans, frankly, it's surprising they can fit in as much as they can. So I'm gonna hook up the negative first. Put that down on there. Put the nut on. Alright, that's nice and tight. Now I'm going to put the other one on. I'll put the large one down lower. Alright. Just like that. And like that. Again, I don't know what this thin black wire is for. This is the weirdest damn setup I've ever seen, but clearly there's something going on here that I'm not aware of. I know the very basics of electrical, so I know what's going on, more or less. It's just when you get into the various charging systems and the inverters and converters and 2 different batteries, it can get a little complex, but that should do it. And now I'm going to get in here and see if everything's working. All right, let's have a look here. All right. Two 12.5 volts. All right. And hey, we have light. So it means I can turn off the light here. Turn off that light. There we go. And we have light over here. We have light over here. How about back here? All these lights work. That light works. That light works. Reading light. Where's the switch? There it is. Reading light. Focus. Camera's out of focus. Pretty cheap camera. Doing my best here. I got my GoPro here as well, but neither offers the greatest opportunity to film. Alright. And reading light. Oh man, sticky. Reading light and reading light. So all the lights work. That's good. Alright, so now that I've got the battery back in, I'm going to turn these off, put the step back in, and plug in the generator. Make sure the converter works. Now the converter, again, this is my understanding of how it works. I am not an expert, but my understanding is that a converter is what converts the 110 power coming in when the vehicle's plugged in and converts it to 12 volt to charge the battery when you're camping. So if you're somewhere and you're plugged in, your battery is charging through the converter. Now an inverter does the opposite. It takes a 12 volt power from the battery and converts it into a 110 volt power to power things that aren't made to plug into a 12 volt socket. Some vehicles nowadays have built-in inverters and converters. Some of them are all the same unit. I don't know what this one has. I suspect it's going to be just a regular converter, and I will have to put in my own inverter. But that is yet to be determined for sure. All right, so I put this back together. And that's backward. This still has the plastic on it from when it was new. Long days gone by, eh? Yeah, nicely fit. That fit nicely. I'm pleased. Obviously, there are better battery setups out there. I know that I've seen a lot of people put 6 volt golf cart batteries into their RVs. They'll put 2 or 3 or 4 of them in there. Probably, I think you have to stick with even numbers because you need to have 12 volts. And if you put a 6-volt battery in there, you need a second 6-volt battery to wire them in series to up the voltage to 12. As opposed to having two 12-volt batteries wired in parallel to maintain the voltage and only increase the amperage. And that's something I can talk about at another day, not today. I'm sure there are lots and lots of videos out there about that. All right, this sucks. This whole thing sucks, but it works. So we got the battery installed, and now let's plug in the generator and see what we can do. Generator's plugged in. Now, if everything is going properly, this should turn on. Which it is not. Not turning on. Okay. I have to figure out whether or not we even have power. Alright. Alright, I brought in my electrical tester so we can put it over to AC volts 150. Which means this will max out at 150 volts, because we should only have 110. So now, I have to plug it into that outlet and see if I have power. No power. I've got buckets. Buckets. Alright. I'm gonna have to troubleshoot a bit and come back to you. Well, fate is conspiring against me, it would seem. Went out and plugged the tester into the generator. No power from the generator. Which means now my generator isn't working. Which sucks, because when I put it away for the winter, it was working. And now it's not putting out any power. Another thing I gotta fix now. Which means I'm on battery here again, and I can't plug in at all. I can't get power at all. Unless... I can hear it turning over, but not starting. Well, that's not surprising. That would have been a friggin' miracle if it actually started. Plus, I don't know if I want it to. I don't know what kind of condition the gas is in the tank. Well, balls. I gotta come up with a solution here. I don't have one at the moment. Think about it, come up with something. Alright, so I think I've decided what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to my dad's house. He has that old motorhome I told you about in my earlier videos. It has an Onan generator in it. And to the best of my knowledge, that one works. I could drive it right over here and plug the van right into it. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Alright. I'll be back with that. Okay. Now, I have my father's generator running outside, plugged into the van. I have power at this outlet that I tried earlier now. So now I know there's power going into the van, for sure. So now we can go back here, turn on the lights, and test the generator. Let's see what she does. Fan. Hey, okay, so the fan is running. Medium, low, medium, high, and high. All right, so now if we do, let's see, pre-wired for opt heat. I have no idea what that means, but we're gonna skip that and go to low. I just heard the compressor come on, so we're gonna feel if this thing gets cold. I hear the compressor running, which is really good. And I feel the air getting cold. All right. That is great. Oh yeah. Kind of dusty in here. Oh yeah. Getting nice and cold. Oh, excellent. I got it turned as cold as it goes. There we go. Oh yeah, nice and cool. I'm gonna let that run for a while. And I'm gonna show you real quick the setup I have out here. It's kind of goofy, but it works. So we'll just go outside real quick and have a look here. All right. I don't know, the light is pretty bad. I'll do my best here. Whoops. Hang on, I'm having trouble with the camera. All right, here we go. All right. As you can see, I got the power cord plugged into the same outlet, running down here to this extension cord. This is not the greatest extension cord, so I'm not going to run the air conditioner very long, but it goes to this mess, and it goes over here into my dad's RV, which is running this generator over here. This is the RV I told you about in my last video that we drove around in my whole childhood, all the way from Michigan down to Florida, all along the East Coast, New York City, even Manhattan, in this raggedy old thing. And unfortunately, it's on its last legs now. It's not going to last much longer. Pretty much nothing inside works anymore. Air conditioner, refrigerator, none of them work anymore. So I might end up commandeering that water heater cover, at least the vents, if it fits. But anyway, all right, let's get back to work. All right, so back on the GoPro now, but yeah, I'm very happy that the air conditioner works, because those are very expensive to fix or replace. So I'm gonna move on to the refrigerator now. And as you can see, it's pretty nasty. So it's actually already set to electric. So I'm basically just gonna see if it starts getting cold or not. It might take a while though, these things don't work very fast. So I'm gonna start cleaning it and just kinda see what it does. So I just cleaned the fridge. Not perfect. I'll get it cleaner later when I'm actually going to put food in it. I just didn't want it to stink. So, as you can see, nice and clean, relatively speaking. Still got a little grime in the corners, you know, that kind of thing. I think I'm gonna have to take a razor blade to this stuff because this is wasn't coming off. But yeah, still got some gunk on the seal. But it's sanitary now, at least it doesn't stink. But I'm gonna close it up and see if it gets cold. Maybe I'll go outside and open up the access panel, see if I can feel the element getting hot. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how to tell when your refrigerator is working. Now, obviously, the only certain way to know that it's working is if it gets cold, but the way these things work, they don't have compressors in them. I don't exactly know how it works. I'm pretty certain that it's magic, but I do know how to tell when it's working. So I'm going to show you outside how it works, but sometimes they take like overnight to actually get cold, especially if you don't have anything in them. It helps a lot to put cold things in there to fill all that empty space. Otherwise, it takes a long time to get them cold. But let's go outside here, and I'll show you the inside of this thing. So this is the inside of the fridge access, and it just plugs in right here to this outlet. But this is your gas line right here going to it. And I'm not running gas right now. I'm running it on electricity. But basically, this gets hot down here, and it sends some kind of a coolant up, and then it snakes back down all this element right here. It comes back down and it recondenses, something like that. There's a whole heat exchange thing going on. It's very scientific and over my head. So, but the way that I've always tested the fridge in that old motorhome over there and now this one is to just put my hand on here. I can feel this is getting hot. So that's usually a really good indicator that the refrigerator is working. See, that's right there. That's really hot right there. I don't even want to touch that, but this is warm to the touch. So I'm 90% sure that this refrigerator is working under electricity. And only time will tell. I'm going to leave it on, see if it gets cold inside before I leave, but I'm fairly happy with what I'm seeing so far. All right, so I got to figure out what I'm going to do with this thing. Somebody suggested a piece of Velcro, you know, just a strip of Velcro on there, and just holds it shut. And that'll work. I might do that. One other option would be to get one of those little door latches and just use a latch for right here. But that would involve drilling and screws and stuff. That's more complicated. The only problem with the Velcro thing I see is that it's going to have to go literally on this seal because it's the only thing that touches up here. Maybe a Velcro strip that attaches up here and just sort of Velcros down like that and holds it closed. I don't know, we'll see. I'll debate. But on to the next project. Look what we got up here. Nasty. That's off of the running board. Oh God, it's sticky. This is going right outside. Oh, nasty. Yeah. What is it sticky with that? See, this is one of those times when I wish I was a few inches taller. What is this? What the hell is that? I have no idea what that is. Okay, curtain. Hopefully that's all this is. Pretty nasty. Gonna need cleaning. Looks like this is the front other side, the driver's side front to the windshield curtain. Looks to be in okay shape. I don't know why they took it off. Needs a few things, needs a little cleaning up. Some of these things are bent, looks like it got pulled off. Some of these hooks are bent. But I happen to know that you can buy these hooks at like a fabric store. So I could have that cleaned and be perfectly okay. I just have it cleaned and put new hooks on it. Yeah. Alright. Aha. Oh, Jesus. And this would be this one. And this just snaps right in. Snaps in like that. Again, why is it not on there? All the little hooks are there. Needs cleaning. Looks like I could just machine wash it. Yeah, it's even got the little Velcro thingy. You gotta wonder sometimes why people do the things they do. But I suppose they have a reason. I wasn't there, so who knows. Alright, let's get back to this. By the way, this is the cheapest bottle I have ever seen. It looks okay on the outside, but then you squeeze this little thing and soap just dribbles all over your finger. What a piece of junk. Useless. This is way better. Okay, I just found probably one of the most disgusting things I could have found. Dear God, what is that? Oh, there's like maggots and shit in it. Ugh. That's gonna take some serious cleaning, like a putty knife or something. Oh man. And there's a mosquito in here. Alright, I'm closing this shit up. I don't know what that is. I don't want to know. And I'm not cleaning it tonight. Disgusting. Wow. Alright. Alright, well, it's getting on upwards of 11 o'clock, so I think I'm going to close up here and head home. So, got a lot done, though. I'm happy. I'm happy the fridge is working. I'm happy the air conditioner is working. The lights definitely seem to be working. The converter seems to be working because I noticed that when I shut off the generator, the lights dimmed a little bit. So that means that power is going into the system. But let me just show you real quick here. I went ahead and got the stove cleaned up. It looks pretty nice now. I'll go ahead and just shut that. And then I got the sink cleaned up. It's much nicer. It's still a little grimy in the drain there. That might come down over time, or it might not, but who cares. Now, this thing is here. I haven't cleaned it. It's pretty nasty. I'm kind of debating whether or not to just toss it, because it's made to plug the thing, and I can't imagine why I would ever need to. But yet, I don't want to throw it away because I'm not 100% certain. So, anyway, that is the beginning. Beginning of working on the RV and getting it ready to travel with. The refrigerator's definitely working. It's feeling cool in there already, which is really good. I'm really pleased about that. So that's that. Yeah. So we got the battery done. We got the air conditioner tested. We got the refrigerator tested. The lights are working. Got some cleaning done. It still definitely needs much more. Needs a good, I don't know, I might rent a rug doctor and see if I can get the carpet cleaned, but it's pretty stained. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get it cleaned to my satisfaction. So I might end up pulling it out and putting down like a vinyl or something like that. But that's a lot of work for another day. Yeah. So anyway, thank you for watching, and keep an eye out for the next one. I'm going to keep on making these as I progress. I'm going to film everything I'm doing. Hopefully, maybe it'll help some of you out. Teach you a few things. If you're new to RVing, you might learn some stuff and be able to do some stuff, to fix some things. So anyway, as you can see, before I close out, this was reading 13.0 while the generator was plugged in. 13 volts means it's charging. It's a 12-volt system, so when it's running on battery, you can't expect to have anything more than 12 volts. And right now I have 12 and a half. So I can't expect any better than that. So I'm going to close everything up and pack up a few things. I'm not going to take it all with me. I'm going to leave the cleaning supplies and stuff here. There's no point in taking them. And head home. So have a good night, everyone. Thanks for watching.